Alright, something a little different today. I wasn't going to film this, but I figured what the heck, maybe it'll somebody will enjoy it, or maybe learn something from it. But I got to go over here into the corner where we got our all the engines we built tucked away. There's our water cooled and the clear head, and the hit and miss, and the twin. That's what started all that, twin. But anyway, we're going to work on this. The 4-cylinder here, because this is the most popular and probably the most famous. This thing is world renowned thanks to the interwebs and the YouTube TV and stuff. And people actually come from across the country, and I've had people from around the world, England and Australia and stuff. They say, "Oh yeah, I've seen it on YouTube and stuff." But anyway, I digress. But what we're going to do today is the gas tank here. The paint on it got a little messed up, and the decal. When people come, from far away and stuff to see this, you want it to look the best it can. It's been 5 years since we built this, and it's held up pretty good. The paint and the decals, and I mean, there's no scratches or dents, or just oil and a little dust and dirt, but that's okay. But our gas tank got a little messed up here, and I'm going to take that off, and we're going to repaint that, put a new decal on it, and then chemical proof it. Actually, this, it looks like this gas tank, you wonder how it's held on. It's actually, we welded this bracket. It's actually part of the gas tank and everything, so I got to unbolt it from the head. So let me take it off, and I'll show you what our problem is and what caused it. Alright, I got the tank off. And here's our dilemma. You see, when we paint these, I usually use Rust-Oleum, which is good paint and everything, but it's only straight enamel. And if you keep gasoline off it, it's okay. If you look on this side here, this side looks good. But where the fuel side was, it's all messed up. And it's messed up like that because what happened is, the last show we left, I think it was raining or drizzling or whatever, and we put a plastic bag over the engine, and it sat on here. And then when we came home, the fuel tank must have been pretty full, and the cap must not have been on or loosened or something. And the fuel was sloshing around there, and the plastic bag was rubbing on this, and it rubbed on the decal here and messed that up and everything. So I tried to clean it up because we had a show coming up not too long after that. And I cleaned it up to make it look decent, but it still looks like heck. So what my plan is here is, let me show you. Here's a can. This is a can. This is the stuff we use, Rust-Oleum, and they call it stainless steel. It's not like a bright silver. It's almost like a grayish silver, and it looks good. Looks good on the old engines. But like I say, it's not impervious to fuel. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to sand this all down, spray with the Rust-Oleum, and then we'll put a new decal on it. And then I might encase it in clear epoxy, and the epoxy should be impervious to the fuel, so that should solve our problem. Because over the 5 years that we've had this, me and Mike have always been careful, and when we fill it up and fuel it and stuff, and we've been pretty good. If we got a drop of fuel on or something like that, we just dab it with a rag and it'd be fine. But for a show engine, this just isn't acceptable. So I'm going to sand this down, then we'll take it outside and we'll paint it. Alright, yeah, we're happy with that. We got it all sanded down. I didn't want to have to reprime it, but I did cut down to the metal in some places, so I'll degrease it here, and we'll take it out, prime it, and then give it a top coat. I didn't want to repaint the black either, but I think I'm going to anyway. So take the whole thing out, spray it, and prime it. Alright, yeah, it came out good. It's 90 degrees out here. Oh, I got a bug on there, wouldn't you know that? So we'll pick him off before we put a top coat, but it came out nice. Yeah, we didn't prime that one up, we just put a top coat on there. We didn't sand that or nothing. Just degreased it. Alright, that's the first coat, and yeah, we're happy with that. So we'll let that sit for 15 minutes or so, and then give it a second coat. And 2 coats should be plenty. Alright, that's a second coat. I would like to keep that flat finish, but that ain't gonna happen when we put the epoxy on there. But that's a sacrifice you gotta make. Alright, I'm gonna let that sit out here and cook for a while. Alright, it's the next day, and yeah, this came out perfect. I couldn't be more happier with that. So now I'm gonna paint the bracket. I'll tape this up, paint the bracket black, and then once that's painted, we can put the decal on and then encapsulate it. Alright, it's been about a week since we painted this thing, and we're ready to put the decal on. The water slide transfer, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to have to lay this out and mark it. All I do is put a piece of tape on the top and the side, so when it's wet, it slides right where I want it to. Alright, let me throw you guys up on a tripod, and we'll continue on. Alright. Yeah, I tried to set you guys up down here a little lower so you're not getting too much glare off of them lights, but I got the decal pretty much where I want it. Now I got to try and see if it'll stay. Whoa, whoa! Once it's on there, you can slide it around and stuff, but this gets you pretty close. Just put one on that edge and one on this edge, and then we'll slide it right up to that. Alright, see. When it's wet, you can slide right there. Alright, let me get some warm water, and we'll try and stick it on there. Oh, sorry about that. Alright, I got some warm water here. Stick you over here. Can you guys see that? Let me turn you around so I can see. Okay. Here you go. You're just going to stick it in there, maybe for about 5 seconds. Maybe a little longer. It's crawling up on us. Huh, it's not staying underwater. It's been longer than 5 seconds already. Here we go. That's better. Alright. Maybe 10 seconds or so. 20, I don't know. Anyway, the way you tell if it's ready is, here you go, when you move it around. See the way it's coming off? Alright, let's try and stick it on here. Like I said, once it's on here, you just grab one end and pull the paper out from under it. Well, that's no good. It's not sliding. Pretty close though. I have to call it good. I think that's crooked. Let me fix that. I'm going to have to put water on that and fix that. It probably looks good from where you're at, but I don't like it. I'm going to have to look at that the rest of my life, so let me try and fix that a little bit. Alright. Yeah, I just had to put a little more water on it so I could slide it. Didn't have enough water on it. Okay, now that we got it pretty close, get this out of the way. And yeah, I'm liking that a lot better. Now you just get the water out of the way. That's done. I'm going to dab that. Get some of the excess moisture off of that. Like I say. Let that dry, and we're good to go. Alright, yeah, I'm going to let that sit there for maybe a day or so, and then we'll put the epoxy on. Yeah, hang it up over there out of the way. Alright, it's the next day, and the decal is all dried and everything, so we're ready to put some epoxy on it. It's just regular 50-50 mix, you know, clear epoxy, nothing special about it. You can pick it up anywhere on the internet. You know, there's 1,000 ways I could have done this. You know, I could have sprayed it with urethane, and you know, I just didn't want to get involved with cleaning all the guns and all that stuff, you know, and I'm happy with the way this stuff works. So I got my gas tank set up in here, and my my pan of ice here. These are pretty cool because I actually want to, I don't know if you can tell, but I got that on an angle. So when I put this on there, it's going to flow. It's going to flow out, and you're going to get a little titty on the bottom here. And then when it's all hard and everything, you just file that titty off, and everything's fine. And then everything is perfectly smooth. You know, it actually flows out. So that's what I'm going to do. Actually, what I'm going to do too is in the garage here, I didn't turn the air conditioner on yet, and it's probably around 70 degrees. So when I get done putting this on, I'll probably bring it in the house because it's a little cooler in the house, and I'd rather it take longer for it to cure. That way it'll flow out a little better. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix it up in this little cup here. I'm not going to need but maybe probably a quarter of this cup, and then I'll probably have a lot left over. But I was looking for a brush. You know, you can put it on any brush you want because it's not going to leave any brush marks. It's going to flow out. And I had these acid brushes, and here's something interesting. This one on the right is older than this one, and it's softer, much softer, and fuller. And this one here I just bought recently, and it's, you know, it's real stiff. You know, it's like plastic or something. But anyway, and then if you look at them from the top, the older one is twice as thick and full. So no matter what you get anymore, they cheat you and make it cheaper. So I'm going to use this one just because it'll make it easier for me to put on. So let me set these on a tripod, and then we'll go to town. Yeah, these pan devices are nice. Maybe if I remember, I'll leave a link in the description. And you know, they're cheap too. I think this was like 30 bucks or something. I'm not sure, but this tank, the tank is, I got to be careful because this tank is teetering on here. You know, I mean, it's stable. You know, because the base is pretty heavy, but one wrong move and we could have a catastrophe here. Alright, let me put you on a tripod. Alright, got a little Dixie cup here, and I marked it off. I'm going to fill part A up to here and then part B up to here. You know, this cup is tapered a little bit, and I'm going to compensate for that, you know, by putting a little bit more on the bottom and in the top, but it's not that critical. You know, you mix your stuff good and everything, it'll harden. It may take a little longer, it may take a little less, but it'll harden. Alright, let me put this in here and then we'll mix it up. Okay. Yeah, I got lucky. I hit it dead nuts on. So, let's mix it up. I got a little popsicle stick here, remember them? And like I say, this has got to be mixed perfect, you know, or else you're going to have trouble. Anybody that has trouble with epoxy, it's because they didn't mix it right. I'm going to keep mixing this, and then when I'm done mixing, I'm going to mix it a little more. Alright, I don't know how much you're just going to see because you guys are way back there. You know, and I want you to be able to see the whole thing. Yeah, I mixed it pretty thorough. Got a lot of air bubbles in there, but when you're brushing it, it doesn't matter because the air bubbles come out when you brush it. Alright, let's give this a try. I didn't look to see how much time we got to do this, but we should have a decent bit. See the way it's flowing out? I'm going to brush this way, so that'll help it. I want to get here so I get a good seal. If you get a hair in there, just pull it out. I'm going to turn you off because this may take me a couple minutes, and I'll turn you back on and show you what she looks like. See, it's looking better already. Alright, it only took a couple minutes, and I'm happy with it. Might not look well like right under these lights, but I'm going to bring this inside and let it let it flow out a little slower than it would out here. Like I say, it's pretty warm out here. I think I'm going to leave the cap. I did the cap too. I'm going to leave that out here, and we'll see how that does. All right, maybe we'll give you a shot of this before we end the video. So, what do you say? Enough of this? All right, this is what's got to look good. That's the money shot right there. And like I say, we're just trying to keep the fuel from peeling the paint. So, all right. See you guys in the next one.